Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do the season finale. Unfortunately, the season finale of Kuroko no Basket 2, episode 25 review, that is 2-5, or Kuroko no Basket episode 50 review, that is 5-0. There we go. Yeah. So, before I get started, the episode link is going to be in the box below on Crunchyroll.com. And I do want to say that I was going to do a live reaction, but I decided not to, because I don't fully comprehend the legal issues, the copyright issues when it comes to that series. So in the future I will, for sure. But until that point in time, because normally I have it like right here in the bottom left-hand corner of my of the screen. But no, we're not going to do that. We're going to play it safe, and we're just going to simply do the review. But the ending of the game, of the match, between Seirin versus Yosen, that has to be talked about. Because I remember when I started reviewing Kuroko no Basket, the manga, people were actually complaining about that scene. I mean, even though I was well past it, it was being referred to in the comment section. And people weren't pleased about that scene. Or they weren't pleased about that game, the way it ended off. And when it came to the anime as of late, since I've been talking about it, about the ending and how people weren't pleased about it when it came to the manga guys. Well, the manga guys weren't pleased about it either in the... Because obviously you anime cats haven't watched that scene until it actually appeared in this week's episode of Kuroko no Basket. However, the manga cats, some guys don't like it. So I'm going to talk about it because it has to be talked about. That's very obvious. Now, when it comes to the basics, animation, pacing, story progression, and character development. First of all, story progression, obviously, we have made leeway into the Winter Cup. We are now in the semifinals, and Seirin is beating Yosen, very simple. So overall, pretty damn decent. And now we're going to move on to the next season, which will encompass the semifinals and probably the finals, maybe. Now, when it comes to, because it depends where the manga is at that point in time. Oh, wait, no, because there is the, there's that one thing. So maybe not the finals, but the semifinals for sure. Now, when it comes to character development, look at Murasaki Ibara. Look at this dude. At the beginning of the last episode, oh, this is disgusting. I don't want to try. You sicken me. You're disgusting. I'm just going to try because... you want me to try. That's it. And then in this episode, we see that his distaste for basketball, it's all a facade. It's all a farce. Because not only is he able to enter the zone, and we know for sure that a requirement at least is to have love for the sport, but also you can see him at the beginning of the episode from Jump Street. This dude was pumped up. Like, for example, when he did that combination play, first it was Himura to him, then it was him back to Himura, and then Himura actually made, that nice little jumper. He was stoked. He was like, yeah! And everyone's like, yeah! I'm like, dude! So clearly, this game, it's not fun. It's bullshit. No. You're bullshit. You're bullshit. Now, also, what I want to point out is that, like I said before, in the last episode, when he ties back his hair into a ponytail, it symbolizes him removing all obstacles from his field of vision. He is now focused on the mission. He becomes RoboCop, and he's ready to go. So, what I'm trying to tell you here is that this was symbolized, this transition, or this truth, I should say, because it wasn't like he hated the sport. He's always said that I hate the sport, but he actually likes the sport a lot. So the symbolism in the last episode reveals the truth about Murasaki Ibara, in which he actually loves the game. And then he even cries after he says to Kiyoshi, "I want to quit because it wasn't fun, man. It just wasn't fun at all. Like, I tried because Himura he was mad, so he punched me. I'm gonna try." But you guys do this anyway, so I'm just gonna walk off. Fuck basketball. I'm gonna go play tennis. And then the moment he gets to the bench, you fucking Murasaki Ibara playing damn, yo man, shitty poker face, crabby poker face. All right, he will lose every poker game in his entire life. I guarantee you. All right, let's move on. Fucking sobbing mother. This dude just straight sobbing. I'm like, dude, fuck out of here. Clown. Straight up clown, man. I should call him Bobo. Clowning. Alright. When it comes to the animation, beautiful. The animation was fantastic. Now, it wasn't as, like, hyped up. See, there was a difference between the animation of the last episode and the animation of this episode. The animation in the last episode was it was sharper. It was more distinct. It was more powerful, more impactful. In this episode, it was actually a lot more smoother. And it's hard to explain, but let me give you an example. In the episode, at the beginning, there's a nice little scene here where you see Kagami plays as point guard, right? And then he's dribbling up against like that one guy from Yosen, like the short dude from Yosen, like the only short guy in Yosen. And he does like a fake. He passes the ball over to Kuroko. Kuroko, he goes like this, yeah, to an alley-oop where Kagami's already there, and he's like, ugh. I'm like, that was a beautiful play, but it was very smooth. That transition, especially the follow-up play, where it was Kagami and Izuki, where Izuki gets the ball, he's gonna go for a layup. In comes Murasaki Ibara to try and block Izuki, and then Izuki, he eagle eye, passed the ball right up to Kagami, who slams it in. So the animation, the transition between scenes was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Where in the last episode, it was far more, like, it was far sharper. Especially when it came to that one scene, where, again, he brings out the Swiffer Duster. He dusts his people. Just fake. And I'm like, oh, it was sharp. It was powerful. I'm like, oh, it was crazy. Mad hype. Especially when it came to the dunk from the foul line. But in this episode, much smoother. So it depends what you want to go with there. Either you want more dynamic stuff or you want more fluidity. However, what I will say is that regardless, it was damn good animation. So that being said, I mean, I covered the basics, I think, right? Character development, yeah. Story progression, yeah. Pacing, pacing was fine. It was fine. All right, so it was fine. Okay, and that's a yes right there. So the basics alone, the episode I think is actually very damn good. Now, when it comes to the actual in-scene stuff, okay, all right, okay. Well, no, let me not start at the ending because I know people are going to be like, what the fuck? So let me mention a few things here and there just before I get to the actual main event. First of all, at the end of the game, there's a face-off between Akashi Seijiro, the Emperor himself, and the Lion of Shutoku, Midorima. Yo! That means something. That means something heavy. And also, we have a few scenes here where we said this one guy walking down the aisle, walking down the hallway with dreads. I think we see Kaijo. They are preparing for the next game, the semifinals. And again, obviously, I think when it comes to the next season, it's probably going to cover just the semifinals. That's my take on that. Not the finals, but the semifinals. And I mean, aside from that, I mean, seeing Kyoshi come back in there once again, like actually doing very nice. And you see like how he has transitioned as a character. Like in this episode, you see all of what he's gained through actually witnessing his teammates carry him. And I guess in a way, you can kind of give him some character development as well. Because we saw this when it came to him on the bench. And him talking about it. And him realizing it. But him actually putting this in action is something else entirely. So in that sense, it can be more character development along Kyoshi's line. Where Kyoshi, he doesn't actually try to block Himura. More so, he loses purpose because he knows that Himura is actually better than him when it comes to the fakes and the rights of postponement, that kind of stuff. Because that's Himura's specialty, the fakes. That's very obvious. So smooth when he's making after images. However, he purposefully lost. So when Himura, because Himura has this disgusting hand time, right? It's literally minutes on end in the air. And I understand how in real time it's a split second or a few seconds at most. But in the anime, he's just suspended in air. It's street hoops on steroids. They don't know. I'm like, no! He's still in the air. But given his position, it allowed Hyuga to come in there and block, just completely reject Tatsuya. And I'm like, yo. And the fact that they followed up, where it was Kagami tries to shoot in the 3, he misses. Even though he's in the zone, he misses. And then we have we have Kiyoshi vice claw the ball for the rebound. Passes the ball to Hyuga, and Hyuga makes in that nice little jumper right there. And he actually gets them to the 1-point margin. Hyuga actually had some nice plays overall. And yeah, he really did have some nice plays. That's truth be told. Izuki had that one nice play when it came to, Kagami. And let me focus more on Yosen. Himura and Murasaki, they actually are more honed now. They're more focused. And that's why we see this cohesion between the two when it comes to the start of the next episode. Very nice cohesion. It was mainly just those two. Very nice cohesion. And when it gets to the point where they're actually, losing. They're winning by 1 point. And then it was, I'm going to pass the ball over to Murasaki. And then we see Himura actually give complete faith to Murasaki. He's like, there are no more passes here. I'm going to leave it up to you. It's going to be your job to actually put it in. And no, let me retract that, all right? Because the way I say put it in, and it's like two dudes, and it sounds kind of weird. So it's his job to slam the ball in the basket. Oh, that sounds like, man, it's his job to dunk. God, damn it, man. So it's his job to dunk. And he actually gets blocked by Kiyoshi and Kagami. Now, this is where things are a little bit iffy, because you could actually argue that Kiyoshi, given his condition, should not have been able to come back in time. But he did. Because he started at the beginning. He started at the complete opposite coast of the damn court. And he's able to go back in time to block Murasaki and help Kagami. It's iffy. But when you see the zone full on, there's that one scene where it's Murasaki, it's like they smack the ball out, and then you have Hyuga, and then you have Kagami, and they're running. They're counter, and this dude, it's pitch black. It's pitch black, and all you see is Murasaki just straight up Usain Bolt, this perfect form, and then he just appears before Kagami, just a straight up purple monster. And that OST, every time the zone is activated, that OST is nasty. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. It's nasty, and this dude just came in there, I'm like, yo, and he's just looking fierce. But what does Kagami do? Fantastic move. All right, he jumps after he motivates himself, because he has his boys backing up in the back. I'm like, yeah, these are my boys. They got my back. I'm gonna come in there. So his zone actually goes full throttle, and then he jumps from the foul line again. But this time the angle's off. So we have Alex actually talking about, wait, so he's going to do right now. And remember how I told you before, how Alex was teaching Kagami something in particular. And we see now what it is. With his left hand, which Kagami's left-handed, right? I mean, I don't know. But with his left hand, he pulls like a space jam, does a meteor jam. He literally, in air, instead of actually dunking the ball in, because he was too short apparently. And it looked like he was actually, like, when you look at the way he ended off, it seemed as if like he could have actually dunked it in, but he did not. He actually just throws it in. Meteor jams it. And he actually gets the team to finally, like, the numbers where they're actually, like, they're finally winning now. Alright, simply put. However, Murasaki Bara, okay? Murasaki Bara is actually able to, he's still focused. He hauls ass to the other side of the ring. To the other side of the court. Here we have, again, Himura and Murasaki Bara. Cohesion. And he throws the ball over to Murasaki Bara. Murasaki Bara is open. Completely open. There's no one there. No one. Nada. And he can't jump. Now, now here where the problems come. Alright, because Alright. So let me say like this, alright? It makes the reason why he can't jump makes sense. It does. First of all, he's a big guy. And the entire time he's been jumping around like a rabbit. Alright, Bugs Bunny. Alright, what's up, Doc? He's been just hopping around. So after all that hopping, it's gonna take a toll on his knees. And we do know that this has occurred before. When it comes, for example, last season, Kisei, in the middle of his match against Almine, had to stop. Well, not in the middle, but he had to stop. Like, when after their game was over, he collapsed because his body had taken so much, a lot of toll on his body. This goes double for Almine, because Almine, we found out later on that he actually couldn't play in the finals of the Inter High. Because, again, playing like that takes a toll on the body. And mind you, they're only first years in high school. So, I don't know what age that is exactly in Japan, but they're first years in high school. So their bodies aren't fully developed for that kind of, for that kind of, those kind of motions and on a regular basis. So there's going to be a heavy toll on the body. That's very obvious. The problem here is that there were no signs. Let me repeat that. There were no signs of Murasaki Bara's knees giving way throughout the entire match until when he has open court and literally Nani. So that's a problem because it makes it seem as if like the author is copping out. Oh yeah, like his knees, like the last second his knees, whoa, ooh, yeah, can't do it. So, I mean, at least if there were signs where he couldn't, because this dude was able to pull like perfect form and hop around, and he was even hinted to have the most potential, the most natural talent out of all of the gen. But apparently, when it comes to like the last shot, he can't jump, can't do it. So, there should have been at least hints, but there were no hints. It was just random, sporadic. Furthermore, Kuroko coming in there. I mean, because think about it. He was right there, and he couldn't jump. So all you had to do is go like this. He done, over. But apparently, Kuroko gets there in time to block, to straight up block the biggest guy in Japanese high school basketball. We're talking about, like, Kuroko doesn't have the ups. I'm sorry. Kuroko doesn't have the ups. He doesn't have the bungees to get that high. Where the biggest guy, we're talking about, like, what? He's like 6'9"? No, like 6'7", 6'9". He's tall. with his hands raised. That's like, what, 7, 8? And he can somehow reach the ball? Kuroko. I mean, I understand that, yeah, he didn't give up. No backing down. I got it. Go, 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 go. I understand that. But, so, there are discrepancies, to say the least, when it comes to the finale of the game itself. However, I don't think that the discrepancies outweigh the actual... They don't make the game bad. I understand how an ending can make or break something. I understand that full well. I really do. But in this case, I feel as if like the ending of the game between Yosen and Seirin didn't break the entire damn game. And it makes sense from the standpoint of his knees and him jumping around, his size. That makes perfect sense in that standpoint. It's just that something like that would actually have an effect much early on in the game. Like, well, not early on, but like third quarter or early fourth quarter. Something like that. And there were no signs of that. Like, he wasn't even going down and like rubbing his knees from time to time. He wasn't even doing that. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But overall, the episode, I did like what it actually delivered, to be quite honest. I did actually like the fact that we actually had the wrapping up of the rivalry between Tatsuya and Kagami. So there was actually some character development there too, as well. Like, it's over, the rivalry, but the way it ends off, Kuroko's like, no, like, you need to go back to your friend. Go back to your brother. Because what you guys did right there was stupid. And I think Alex was also trying to say something along those lines to Tatsuya. But overall, the rating, I liked it. I thought it was great. I really do. I mean, I understand full well the discrepancies. I understand that. I do. But I think overall, the discrepancies, the issues of the ending, I think they're not, they don't outweigh the game as a whole. So I'm looking at that. King Lightning, the rating's going to be great. I thought it was a great season finale of Kuroko no Basket. And I will see you guys later for not only the next season, but also for the manga, if you guys are interested in actually reading the manga, to actually, you know, get a heads up on what's going to happen. Because what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Seirin. Oh, I thought I'm done. So, King Lightning, for sure, of course, rate the video, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace. Have a nice day. Yeah, that was a fail. I'm going to catch you guys on the flip side.